Welcome back, educators. This is Mockstar, your home for Texas teacher certification prep, smarter, sharper, and way more engaging. Today, we're tackling Competency 1 of Domain 1 from the PPR exam. This one focuses on understanding how students grow, cognitively, socially, physically, and how you plan instruction that meets them where they are. We've got 5 scenario-based questions lined up. After each one, I'll pause so you can think, then break down each answer choice, not just the correct one, but why the wrong ones don't work, too. Alright, let's get started. Question 1. Cognitive development. A third-grade teacher notices that students struggle to grasp the concept of multiplication as repeated addition. The teacher decides to use manipulatives, group counters in arrays, and create real-world story problems involving repeated groups of objects. Which of the following best explains why the teacher's approach is developmentally appropriate? A. It promotes faster memorization of multiplication tables. B. It reinforces the use of abstract symbols to solve equations. C. It connects concrete representations to emerging abstract thinking. D. It encourages students to use trial and error to find solutions. Pause here and think about what's really happening in that classroom. What kind of thinking is this teacher trying to support? Pause. Let's go through the options. A. It promotes faster memorization of multiplication tables. Not quite. This isn't about memorization. The teacher isn't using flashcards or drills. They're trying to build conceptual understanding of multiplication using hands-on learning. B. It reinforces the use of abstract symbols to solve equations. That's a step ahead. Third graders are still shifting from concrete to abstract. Using symbols alone would come after the students have grasped the concept with physical examples. C. It connects concrete representations to emerging abstract thinking. Yes. This is exactly what's happening. Manipulatives and real-world stories are concrete tools, and they help students begin thinking more abstractly. That transition is key at this stage of development. D. It encourages students to use trial and error to find solutions. That's not the teacher's goal. This is a planned, structured approach, not guesswork. So the correct answer is C. The teacher is helping students move from hands-on models to abstract understanding, which is developmentally right on track. Question 2. Emotional development. During a classroom morning check-in, a 5th grade student writes privately that they are feeling overwhelmed and sad because their parents are separating. The student has recently withdrawn from group activities and shows reduced participation in class discussions. What is the most appropriate action for the teacher to take in response? A. Ask the student to focus on academics instead of bringing personal issues into school. B. Privately offer emotional support and refer the concern to the school counselor. C. Require the student to participate more actively in group work to improve engagement. D. Inform the entire class about the situation to foster group empathy and support. This one's sensitive. Pause and ask yourself, what's supportive and appropriate? Pause. Here's the breakdown. A. Ask the student to focus on academics instead of bringing personal issues into school. That's dismissive. Emotional well-being impacts learning, and brushing off concerns like this can make things worse. B. Privately offer emotional support and refer the concern to the school counselor. Yes. That's the right move. You're showing compassion and connecting the student to someone trained to help. That's both supportive and professional. C. Require the student to participate more actively in group work to improve engagement. This could backfire. Forcing social participation when a student is distressed doesn't help and might cause further withdrawal. D. Inform the entire class about the situation to foster group empathy and support. That's a major violation of privacy. Even if well-intended, it's not the teacher's place to share personal details. The correct answer is B. Support privately, and refer appropriately. Question 3. Physical development. A 2nd grade teacher notices that several students struggle with writing tasks that require fine motor coordination, such as using scissors accurately or writing in small spaces on worksheets. The teacher decides to incorporate more hands-on activities involving clay modeling, larger writing surfaces, and tracing exercises. Which of the following best justifies the teacher's instructional strategy? A. It helps students memorize spelling patterns through visual repetition. B. It provides practice in higher-order cognitive tasks using visual support. C. It aligns with typical social development needs in early childhood. D. It supports fine motor development necessary for academic tasks at this age. Take a moment. What's the real focus of this strategy? Pause. Let's break it down. A. It helps students memorize spelling patterns through visual repetition. Spelling and visual memory aren't the issue here. The students are struggling physically, not with content. B. It provides practice in higher-order cognitive tasks using visual support. Again, the issue is not thinking or visuals. It's motor coordination. C. It aligns with typical social development needs in early childhood. This is about fine motor skills, not peer interaction. Social development isn't the primary concern. D. It supports fine motor development necessary for academic tasks at this age. Yes, that's the one. These activities are designed to strengthen hand control and coordination, skills students need to succeed in writing and cutting tasks. So the answer is D, and the teacher is making a developmentally smart move. Question 4. Developmental variation. While reviewing science journals, a middle school teacher observes that some students are writing detailed reflections with connections to prior knowledge, while others list isolated facts or leave large sections incomplete. The teacher decides to create tiered journal prompts that vary in structure and require depth of reasoning. Which of the following best explains how this decision supports student learning? A. It ensures that all students complete the same task with equal rigor. B. It simplifies expectations for students who are less engaged. D. C. It accommodates varying cognitive development levels across the class. D. It eliminates the need for formal assessments on student writing. Take a pause and think. Here's what's going on. A. It ensures that all students complete the same task with equal rigor. This ignores individual needs. Equality isn't always equity, and one size fits all rarely fits well in middle school. B. It simplifies expectations for students who are less engaged. Nope. Tiering doesn't mean lowering the bar. It's about meeting students where they are and nudging them forward. C. It accommodates varying cognitive development levels across the class. Yes. Students in the same grade often think at different levels, especially in middle school. Tiered prompts give everyone an appropriate challenge. D. It eliminates the need for formal assessments on student writing. Journals can support assessment, but they don't replace it. This is a misunderstanding of the role of informal writing. So the best answer is C. This teacher is planning instruction that's responsive to student needs. Question 5. Play development in a pre-kindergarten classroom. A teacher observes children at a learning center. One child is playing alone with blocks. Another is watching but not joining. And two others are building a structure together and discussing what it could be. The teacher rotates between centers, asking open-ended questions and encouraging shared storytelling. Which of the following best reflects the teacher's understanding of developmental play stages? A. Encouraging students to compete with one another to build better structures. B. Ensuring all students engage in parallel play to stay on task. Using observations of solitary and cooperative play to plan socially supportive activities. D. Redirecting all students to play the same game at the same time to encourage uniformity. Early childhood folks, this one's for you. Pause now and picture the play stages. Pause. Let's walk through it. A. Encouraging students to compete with one another to build better structures. Competition is not a focus at this age. The goal is cooperative, imaginative play, not comparison. B. Ensuring all students engage in parallel play to stay on task. Parallel play is just one stage, not the only one. Forcing it ignores where each child actually is. C. Using observations of solitary and cooperative play to plan socially supportive activities. Yes. This shows the teacher understands the stages: solitary, onlooker, parallel, associative, and cooperative. By watching and planning based on those stages, the teacher creates meaningful opportunities for growth. D. Redirecting all students to play the same game at the same time to encourage uniformity. That's way too rigid. It ignores individual differences in readiness, interest, and development. The best answer is C, because it reflects how play connects directly to social, cognitive, and emotional development, especially in early learners. And that's it. 5 deep questions straight from Competency 1. These are the kinds of decisions real teachers make every day, and the kinds of reasoning the PPR exam wants you to demonstrate. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Coming next, Competency 002, Planning for Student Diversity. Until then, practice smart, teach bold. Globe www.mockstarexams.com